Okay, in a previous video we looked at how to insert these major components within a Google Sites page. So text, images, embedding, and from Google Drive. I'm going to scroll to the bottom here so we can continue. And now we're going to look at this layout feature, which is a newer addition to Google Sites, at least at the time I'm recording this video. Okay, so basically this just automates the process for you and allows you to get some quick layouts. It's nothing you couldn't do by constructing things and moving them around, etc. But it is nice. So let's come here and just say I want two columns with images at the top, titles, and then some text. And this will be very, very common on a web page. So I'll click here, I'll say select image from my albums. I'll do the same thing again for a second image. There you go. Great, and then underneath, and then underneath that I can just put some simple text. Okay, so you can see that if you were interested in this type of layout, this would save you a lot of time. And you have a couple of different options. Here you have an image with the title and text to the right. Here you have side-by-side images with title and text below. If I were to click on this one, you'd see that this is comprised simply of three images, two smaller and one larger. So again, something you might find useful. I just put that in here pretty easily. Come on. And what it's showing me when I first go into these images is my albums. So these are each albums and they have multiple. This has only one photo in it. This has 25 photos in it. So know that you're not seeing all the photos necessarily. This is, you know, if you're using Google Photos. So let's go into this one because it's got a lot. And there you go. Okay. And I'll leave you to play with these layouts yourself. You just have to get into them and see what's available. And let's get into this bottom section. Now, this is, again, a relatively new feature. It's called Button, and if you click here, you can give it a name. The name of my button is going to be push this button. And then you can put a link down here. So again, you should view the link, make sure that it's correct. Paste it in there. Okay, now if I were to preview this, way down at the bottom, it really is very much the same as a hyperlink. I have to believe that at some point maybe they're going to try to build out the functionality of this button because buttons in HTML can do a lot more than that. But for right now, it looks a little different, but it really serves the same purpose as a hyperlink. I'm not going to do it now, but note that you can put in a series of buttons and then move them next to each other. So you can make this kind of line of buttons here if you wanted. Below that is a divider. It's a very light gray line. It's kind of an old school HTML thing. Before there were a lot of formatting options, you often used these horizontal rules, they call them, or horizontal lines, to section the web page, to break it up into logical pieces. And you're welcome to do that. I think it's kind of limited. Your formatting options are limited on it, and you don't see it nearly as much as you used to see it. Now the rest of these features are all quick and easy ways to insert things from Google. So if I go to YouTube, I can search for a video right here. And there you go. I find one that I like. I can even preview it here, select it, and that's inserted into the page. So nice option for YouTube video. By the way, an alternate way to do this is simply go to YouTube. And let me do that for you. The way I tend to prefer to work, because I feel like I have more options when I do this, is I come to YouTube, I do my Ramapo College search here. Okay, I find a video that I like, I preview it, everything's good. I just come here to share, I grab the link here. By the way, this does have embed code. It's just not necessary to use on Google Sites because they make it so easy to do it the other way. But so I could have come to YouTube, simply put in that address and searched for it, and that would be a way. I think the screen is just easier to use in the full size, that's all. And there you go. Now, as I said before, you can put these side by side just by dragging them around. You can include calendars. So these would be calendars that you've created in this account. You do want them from this account, and you do want them to have the appropriate sharing on them so that they're basically public and anybody can see them. Otherwise, your user is just going to get a message that asks them to request access. When you do get here, it's going to by default come up in this agenda mode. You don't have to stay with that. You click on it, you hit the gear up here, and you can say view mode. I would like to see it in monthly mode. Okay, a little more typical view for a calendar if you want that. Although you don't have to. If the agenda works for you, it works for you. You'll notice that with all of these things, as you click on them, you will get appropriate options. You know, if you have any options available to you, with this you can also do things like suppress the title, suppress the date, or navigation buttons. You can show a time zone. You just get in there and look around. Okay, there are different options that are available for different applications or for different tools. Also maps. So if you've created a map in this account, you can go to My Maps over here, select it, and embed it right in the web page, which is nice. Come on. Okay, this has limited options. It will allow them to, you know, blow it out into a big window, etc. Okay, got docs. That should be self-explanatory. You can just get a Google Doc and insert it directly into the page. You can get Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Forms. I'm not going to do all of them. Let me do a Google Form for you. This is a nice option, and you can combine these things to make it a lot easier. I could put a YouTube video up here and then a form where they answer questions about the video right below it, things like that, and charts. So if you've been using Sheets and you create graphs, so a pie chart or a bar chart, something like that. If you've done those, then they'll be available to you here through charts, so you can put that information right on the page. Now, keep in mind that you're creating this site, but that this is something that you can have students do. You know, check with your administration, check that this is an acceptable type of activity, because these things can be made public. But it's a great way for students to curate, archive information, make presentations right through the site itself. Okay, in future videos we're going to look at your controls and how to basically finish up this page.